Yes, 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 yes. Live, love, and lead. Live exemplarily, love authentically, and lead relationally. This is the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, your host today. A certified executive coach, an award-winning leadership consultant, the recipient of the Leadership Impact Award in Uganda 2022, a global speaker and author, the CEO of Inspired Leaders International, and the Provincial Fathers Union President. It's a pleasure to have you today. I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from around the world. This is the Inspired Family Leader Program, a program that seeks to empower, equip, challenge, and inspire men to expand their family leadership capacity for the sake of national transformation. Today, we are talking about parenting a highly intelligent child. We produce children by God's grace, boys and girls, and they are of different kinds, different categories, different types. Some of them are strong-willed, some of them are quite laid back, some of them are extroverted expressives, some of them are very analytical. Others are drivers that push things. Others are just amiable people who love peace and harmony, to mention but a few. But there are those that are highly intelligent. And today we want to talk about how to parent a highly intelligent child. I would like to congratulate the members of Fathers Union in the Diocese of Kampala upon the awesome Fathers Union Biblical Leadership Training that happened for 2 days this week. And also, congratulations to the Cape Brothers in partnership with the Fathers Union upon the celebration of fathers yesterday in Makerere University. That's where we started the conversation from yesterday, and today we are continuing the conversation on how to parent a highly intelligent child. With me in studio is none other than Reverend JT, Reverend Jasper Tumuhimbise, the General Chief Executive Officer for the Church Commissioners Limited. Rev JT, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you here on this program once again.
Thank you. I'm grateful to God for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, especially because, Family TV is our TV.
Yes.
Our TV means when you are there, you are able to listen to the very word of God and also encouragement. So thank you for what you are doing.
You're welcome.
These things that we see, for us to have an opportunity to add something to God's kingdom, the Great Commission in our period. And yesterday, I was there, St. Francis. Those of you who read my tweet, I was like, we need more of this. Why? Because as fathers, we had a day out, an evening out.
It was awesome.
I reached home at 10 p.m. Of course, tired but excited because something in Fathers Union is happening. And thank you for your leadership. We pray that God will use you indeed until the end.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we have a big team across the country of very awesome Fathers Union leaders.
Exactly.
In northern Uganda, in 6 dioceses, Madi Western Isle, in Diocese of Lango, and so on.
We have Teso, we have Bugisu, we have
Uganda, 10 dioceses, awesome leaders. I was with them recently at Namugongo during the celebration. Awesome team of leaders.
I think,
so we have some of those from the Midwest, from Nyoro Chitara, Masini Chitara,
that's Toro,
South Rwenzori, and East Rwenzori. Then in the southwest,
Kigeza and Ankole. And then
the
Central enormous. So I think we can have an exciting movement of fathers, and I will be glad to be part of that movement.
I trust you.
Thank you.
So go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers.
Jasper Tumuhimbise, a father of 4 children, and now they are teenagers and teenagers. The last one is now a teenager. Teenager for me is above 20. And of course, we have very many non-biological whom I've looked after. And my wife, Peace, is a counselor, a children counselor, and elderly. And I am also a clergy, but also I work as a chief executive officer of Church Commission Holdings Company. I sit at Namirembe, and we have Namirembe Guest House, we have Uganda Bookshop, we have Centenary Publishing, Nabugabo Holiday Center.
Yes.
We have 32 acres of prime land,
Interesting.
beach land. We are adding about 18 acres to make them 50. And possibly we shall even take family TV to go and camp there a bit for a weekend when we are ready. But that's the exciting.
Feel free to also take the men there to camp.
I mean, we shall take men from the west, east, north, and central down there, and we camp for a weekend, become better men. Because when you read the word of God, he uses men who are like us. But the difference is normally engaging so that you are able to do what God created you to do when you are still alive. Because there are so many books which were never written by men who died.
Before writing them,
yes.
There are universities in the grave.
Yes,
were
degrees.
By men who
There are very many businesses.
There are many songs.
So we need to, inspire our men so that they do what God created them to do in our time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Please do not die and continue to put a lot of wealth in the grave. You need to ensure that you discover your purpose as a family man, not only discover it, but also develop your talents and skills so that you can pursue your purpose on earth and deploy it so that you don't add to the wealth of the grave. And for that to happen, you need to act with a sense of urgency.
Yes.
I always tell people around me that we do not have 200 years to live on earth. So the quicker we do some of these things, the better. So today we are talking about parenting the highly intelligent child.
Yes.
I want us to begin from the point of making differentiation. When we say a highly intelligent child, does intelligence mean, for example, brilliance in academic scores, or we are talking about something different?
Yeah, it is actually totally different, because I will come to it later. You'll find that very intelligent people are not these academic giants. Why? Because intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge.
Ability to acquire knowledge.
And apply it. And therefore, whatever knowledge you acquire about a phone, you apply it. And then you begin acquiring skills in order for you to facilitate your vision. But in terms of brilliance, academic giants, it is academic tests through tests. And so it is the ability to acquire knowledge through instruction. The other one is ability to acquire knowledge and apply it, and then skills. But this one, you acquire it through instruction. And the one who is instructed sometimes simply does better. And so instruction is different from this child getting your phone and then beginning navigating it without even instruction. And as I tell you this, one of my children failed the P1. It was a parent's school, so we wanted to take him. He went, did interviews, and he failed. So when I asked him, he said, I never liked the one who was asking me. She had attitude. So I never answered. So we begged.
So it was quite intentional.
Yes. Why? Because he has knowledge that if you don't ask me well, I won't answer.
Oh, man.
So he failed P1.
Or is that also a bad attitude on his side?
Exactly. Yeah, because for them, they interpret situations according to the way they see it. She was asking me as if I'm not a person. So I won't answer. And in that regard, he had failed. We begged to take him on. He's bright, and I can assure you, in P1, among the best up to the end. But he failed to acquire marks for P1. Academic
scores
0. But ability to interpret, because I asked what happened. Attitude problem. That this lady was not treating me well. So I mean, he had ability, the knowledge to know that I should be treated well, even when I'm being interviewed.
The common sense to know that I'm supposed to be respected.
Yes, and generally the way I have seen, they are not up there. They are average.
Who?
The intelligent
people.
Really? They are average in the class, except for subjects which they like. I mean,
even for teachers they like.
Yes. For the moment they say, I like math, bas,
they will
scores 100. But then, if he hates history, about 40, 50 maximum. Why? Because for them it is, why am I studying this?
So it's most times those students that fail some of those papers or something, it's not so much about their level of brilliance and academic capability, but it's more about failing to see the relevance of what they are studying, not connecting it to life, not seeing
and the knowledge they have now obtained.
Yes.
Because they want to apply knowledge.
Yes.
But this subject, it doesn't.
So that means you are really raising my curiosity on this. So that means that most of the students who don't pass examinations, it's not
should
that they
never
are not
be
brilliant.
judged on intelligence.
Sometimes
it is just it is a bad day.
They haven't connected the subject to life,
to life,
in real life,
or even what they think is nice.
Yes.
And so you'll find them. So that's why they normally pass like ICT, because it is applied knowledge. They are trying to
and
explore
things.
But when you go to history, even agriculture, they don't like agriculture. They don't like geography, because those are subjects which have a lot of material.
Yes, a lot of just knowledge.
Yes, but in terms of applying it, it is not there. And they are good in physics and math, possibly chemistry and biology,
Music and fine art.
Music, fine art, technical drawing.
Practical things.
Why?
Wow.
Because they are seeing, their mind is seeing what they are doing, and they would want to challenge.
I think that's
even
why,
the teacher,
therefore, it's been a very important move for the Ministry of Education and Sports in line correlation with the National Center for Curriculum
Development.
Yes, something like that. For them to move away from what we've been having to now the competence-based curriculum, whereby the students or the children are able to look at the skills.
What do I have?
Yes, what do I
that
do
is
with
beyond
what I have?
academics?
Yes.
That is beyond learning about Mansa Musa. That one I never studied also. I dropped in senior 2. But then, and I hope you know that it was out of a study.
Yes.
So that you are designing a curriculum to fit the context.
That's
of course, the challenge normally is, it is applied in either Kenya or USA, then you bring as if it is a toolbox. That will have a challenge. But if it is out of a study, then it is a better way of developing children. That even if you fail English and you are good in music, let's develop that talent to the extent that we shall have a person who is very knowledgeable in applying that. And as a country, therefore, we shall nurture what? We shall nurture gifts which are totally eliminated during this competitive. I call it competitive education, where fours are put on what? On TVs and what? And then the question is, actually even wanted to do what they call a tracer study. One who got 4, 8, and then
where are they
after 10 years, 20 years. And you'll find that yes, some of them have made it, but generally, because of even that hyping, they normally totally lose direction. So intelligence, again, is the ability to have knowledge and apply it, and those skills that can enter something and you begin what? Using it.
Then what I'm getting out of this, in a sense, is that intelligence is actually wisdom. Let me explain why I'm thinking as you have explained. Because knowledge, there is a verse in the Bible from Proverbs chapter 2 verse 6, which says, the Lord gives knowledge and understanding, and out of his mouth comes wisdom. So there are 3 words there, knowledge, understanding and wisdom. I see knowledge as the acquisition of facts. I see understanding as the appropriate interpretation of the facts you acquire. And I see wisdom as the application of
those facts and applied knowledge and understanding.
So now when you say intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge and go ahead and apply it, then I see intelligence more as wisdom.
In other words, you are wiser.
Real life common sense.
You are wiser even than your age. And I will come to it later. Why? Because you'll find a child. Okay, this is a classic example. He was about 3 years. I had an Alcatel phone. On a Saturday morning, I was asleep. And I hear knocking on the door. Daddy, come and help me. I said, help you in what? I have watched something. I want you to what? to help me so that we put it for what? So I moved out. Yes. I found he had washed my Alcatel phone.
You had washed your
and
phone.
those days, a phone, my friend.
Those days when you used to also pay service charge.
Yes, service charge, yes. Then monthly fees,
yes.
The SIM card.
Before you buy airtime.
Yes, he had washed it. I asked him, what did you do? He said, Daddy, your phone was what? Was very dirty. I have washed it.
Yes, it's now clean.
I knelt it down. I said, oh, my, what do you do? Mm-hmm. He said, oh, Daddy, sorry. You mean I shouldn't have washed it with the soap? So now, the problem wasn't washing.
Yes.
It was with what?
With what?
Should I have used the Omo? So I said, no.
You shouldn't have even
You shouldn't have washed the phone. So the question was,
then we
what do you use to clean the phone?
Yes.
And of course, I knelt down and we had a discussion. I never even rebuked him. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the intention, now listen to me parents, the intention of an intelligent child is very good. Mm-hmm. The intention is very good.
And you know what you've just explained, it exactly happened to my uncle Stanley in Nyabitete.
Yes.
His son, he found his son holding his phone under the water in a basin.
Yes.
So he found him there just holding the phone under the water, and when the dad entered, he looked at him with a smile. He said, what are you doing? He said, I want to see if they call you, whether it will talk when
exactly.
It is under the water.
So in other words,
a scientist in the making.
Now, a pure scientist. So interpretation is okay.
Yes.
But the intention is okay. But the interpretation, how do I wash a phone? How do I ensure that they don't call daddy? Because the water is entering, let me see. And like one who fed the radio.
Yes.
They sang so well. He said, supu, some supu, some what? Why? Because the intention again for an intelligent child is perfect.
So now I realize that intelligence is different from brilliance in the academic scores.
Totally.
So having said that, now in a sentence or two, who is an intelligent child in your own words?
Yes. 3 things. Number 1, the ability to comprehend ahead of time.
The ability to comprehend ahead of time.
Ability to comprehend things. Yes. You give him a phone, he has never seen it, but he begins. It is like even intuition. They read on and off, they begin putting on. So the ability to comprehend, that's number 1. Ahead of time. I mean, you are 3 years, but you are doing things as if you are 10 or 12. Secondly, innovation.
Yes.
Those children innovate. So you'll find at home things which are spoiled.
Yes.
Why? Because this child wants to see what is inside. So again, the intention is, and those are traits of that child. The intention is, what is inside this?
And actually today, my son said something related to that. We were having breakfast this morning. We were on the dining table, and he was silent. He looked at his cup. And then he said, Daddy, if my cup gets broken in the middle, I said, and Petra is the sister.
Yes.
And Petra's cup also gets broken also in the middle. I said, and we get her part and we put it with my part. I said, the cup will look like a heart.
Now, surely you may think that child is mad. But
I always listen.
But now, what is the intention?
What's going on in the mind?
What is going on? A cup breaking.
Yes.
But you want a cup.
Another one.
Yes.
Put them
combination.
Together. Yes.
Of things.
They form a heart.
Forming a heart. Meaning.
Innovation.
And that's innovation. And this brings me to the third thing. Curiosity. Too much questions. And sometimes they annoy.
Yes.
But the annoyance is because they want to understand. And one question will lead to another.
Yes.
In other words, don't tire of answering. Curiosity. How come this?
So in other words, if my child is very curious, asking very many questions,
please,
I shouldn't dismiss him as a nagging, disturbing child.
Sit
he could actually
and
be a highly intelligent
encourage
child.
That intelligent child simply because question, because where is that question coming from? It is from a mind
And for me,
that is restless.
I won't even ask where is this question coming from. I will ask, who else should he ask?
Exactly.
If not the dad.
But even
not the mom.
That mind that is asking questions,
Yeah.
sometimes they're even tough.
Yeah.
Why am I studying? And they give you examples of those who never studied and successful. In other words, they're interpreting success without education.
Yes.
And as a parent, therefore, you need to ask, to keep answering, searching with them. And sometimes, even if you know the answer, you say, I don't know, let's search together. Google is good. Phones are good. You begin searching. You say, I think this. So that curious mind is able to know that daddy can answer. Because if you don't, that curious mind will go elsewhere to seek for answers.
And you never know the answer.
And so as a parent, you must continue seeking to answer those.
Therefore, intelligence in an intelligent child, number one, is one who has the ability to comprehend ahead of time. Number two is the one who is very innovative in thinking and application. And number three, a highly intelligent child is the one who is curious, asking many questions.
Very questions. And if you know, that leads to emotional stability.
Sure.
Yeah, asking questions is because they are stable.
I thought it leads to emotional turbulence.
In fact, the one they are asking, the one who has emotional turbulence, but the one asking means that they are able to stand and ask.
Yes.
They are seeking.
Yes.
When the Bible says seek you shall find, it means that these guys are seeking. And they are a bit sensitive to situations around them at a very young age.
Yes.
To say, and that's why if you have like a samba boy house girl and you don't allow them to eat from the table, an intelligent person will ask why. And if you are not careful, they begin feeding them.
They begin feeding quietly.
Yes, because they are sensitive.
And yes,
they are sensitive. They don't like people who shout because for them they interpret every action. And that's why a parent of a child is very intelligent. Be careful what you say, what you even see on TV, how you react, how you get your phone shouting. They will be very sensitive.
And they really pay attention.
Yes, because they are now, how come they are reacting this way?
This evening I took my family out for an early dinner before coming here.
Yes.
And while we were there, where we were, my daughter was silent and looking around. So I could see she was not on the table where we were.
Yes.
So I said, my girl, how are you? And she said, I'm okay.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. And I said, what's going on? Are you well? You're very silent. And she said, yeah, I'm fine, Daddy. I said, but you're quite silent.
Yes.
And then she said, I was just observing. Then I said, so what are some of your observations you've made so far? And then she quickly said, most of the waiters and waitresses look like they are already very tired by this time. That was her observation. Sensitivity. Yeah, when you said that came to my mind.
That for them, as we possibly abuse the house girls, they are angry.
Yeah.
If they had means, they would even pay them more.
Yes.
And you'll find them again getting money and giving them quietly.
Yeah.
Why? Because they see there is injustice in this house.
I heard a story of a child who did something that put the father and the mother in a bad light.
Yes.
They were at home in the sitting room talking.
Yes.
And they were, in this system where they transfer clergy to different churches. And the mother and father were busy bad-mouthing the new pastor they had brought for them. And they were saying, but now this pastor they have brought for us, the man is poor. The man is so poor. He has nothing. So this boy had. Now, the next Sunday, when they gave him money for offertory, the boy did not put it in the offertory bag.
He went to solve a problem.
He kept the money, and after the service, he went to the pastor's office to solve the problem he had the father talking about. He brought out the money, gave it to the pastor. And the pastor said, hey, my young man, thank you. How are you? Fine. So what is this money for? And the boy said, this money is yours. Said, where did you get it from? He said, Mommy and Daddy gave it to me for offertory.
Yes.
Then the pastor said, so you should have put it in the offertory bag.
No, you need the money more than the offertory bag.
No, because I had Daddy and Mommy say you are very poor.
Yes,
the boy
let me sort you out.
the money.
Yes. And if you are the pastor then, you would pray for that child.
I'm sorry.
Rather than now thinking about how to deal with the mother and the father.
Now,
why? Because they are sensitive. But two things
Yes.
that are very nice. They have a high sense of humor.
They have a high sense of humor.
Yes. And then they like reading and shading.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a newspaper with eyes, you'll find the eyes are shaded. Even a book.
Yes.
Sometimes even the Bible.
Yes.
They will go for this, especially this good news. You'll find some
with
shading.
the photos in there.
Yes, some shadings.
Oh,
please, once again, I'm begging you. Because, of course, with all due respect, the Bible, what? But what is God actually working in this moral mind?
Because it's God who has led this moral mind to
Into
use the Bible to be
the
shading
Bible
it.
and shade.
You never know during
Yes,
that.
So it is
interaction.
better to begin actually giving them now what to shade. You get it? I mean, broadly buying
Yes.
pencils and what shade this.
Honestly, I had not
Yes,
connected shading and the
Yes,
intelligence.
it is. Yeah, because for them they can't sit
Yeah.
looking at nothing.
Yeah.
No, there must be something they are doing
Yes.
all the time. But the sense of humor means they will make jokes.
Okay. So, the intelligent child is able to comprehend ahead of time, is innovative, is curious,
Yes.
is sensitive to situations around, has a high sense of humor, and likes reading and shading.
Yes.
Now, this kind of a child, is he born or he is made? In other words, do these qualities come out of nature or out of nurture?
No,
In other words,
yes.
are they born with these abilities as highly intelligent children, or we nurture these traits into these children?
Yeah,
Briefly.
generally, three things here. One is what they call inspiration, anointed by God. Now, in research, they talk about genes, that's nature.
Yes, that's
they talk
nature.
about environment, that's nature, but they fail to talk about God. God. Inspiration, that he anointed Bezalel. Even
Exactly.
Aaron, by
Aholiab,
the way,
Aholiab.
yes, exactly. To do what?
Kenania.
To work around the tabernacle in accordance with his plan. Same thing in First Kings. But also Aaron, when you read Aaron,
The priest, the high priest.
the high priest, in chapter 32 of Exodus, he asked for gold and shaped a very nice bull. You get it? So, again, three things. One is God, that God has put in us certain gifts, which will be used or not used. Secondly, is the issue of genetics.
Genetics, yes.
That because you are born from a parent who used it to do this.
Yes.
So your DNA has a bit of that.
A bit of that from your father or mother.
Yeah, so somehow when I see my children, they like math. The truth, I like math. The one who does
And by the way, you are
physics.
quite mathematical in the way you approach a number of things.
Yes, I mean, even in physics, I was the best candidate in the whole country, 1987.
What?
Physics paper 2. So when I see somebody taking physics now at A level,
Yes.
the two children took PCM, I begin thinking that they picked some of these things. But generally, now that's nature. Generally, nature is the environment.
Yes.
That some brilliant kids, they're in an environment where they can't, explore the world, so that they are able to now utilize those abilities.
Oh, so whereas the creator could have deposited some traits,
Yes.
those traits and characteristics and abilities need to be fanned and triggered.
Yeah.
And they are triggered to come out
Yes,
by the
by the
environment in
environment.
which the children are growing up.
That for me, when I was growing up, I had electricity, by the way, from cells.
Cells,
Yes,
batteries.
I would get batteries, 24 of them, connect them on wires and get bulbs from torches. I used to destroy really. And then create electricity at
Kujenga
home.
na kubomoa.
Yeah, I mean, that was my electricity. And of course, people would come and see, because we never knew electricity.
Yes.
But that was the environment I was in. And possibly, had I not gotten the grace of God to take me beyond primary 7, I would be in the village repairing radios. I used to repair radios also at a very young age. I mean, kill one, but see how you connect again. That's how my father's radios got messed up. I think I need to pay him some money. But that was the environment.
Yes.
So our children, thank God, are in a totally different environment.
So what I'm hearing here, therefore, is that if my child is actually struggling intellectually,
Yes.
can I help him become more intelligent, or it's a gone case? Because now you're talking about, whereas there is the God aspect and the genetics aspect,
Yes,
you seem to be emphasizing the environment. So
yes.
if my child is struggling intellectually, I can do something about my environment to help him or her to become more
Yes,
intelligent.
I read Gifted Hands, Ben
Ben
Carson.
Carson, yes.
And one of the ideas that come out clearly is that actually most of our children are very brilliant. They are intelligent.
Yes.
But instead of helping them to be better, we normally finish them and put them off.
We just
What
put
did
them
the
on
mother
TV to
do?
watch cartoons.
Because it was a single mother. She said, my son,
Yeah.
begin reading books.
Yes, that's the Dr. Ben Carson.
Ben Carson with the brother who became an
Please
engineer.
read that book, Gifted
Yes.
Hands by Ben Carson.
And recently, Family TV actually aired Ben Carson,
Yes.
the Gifted Hands on TV.
Ben Carson wrote another book called Dream Big.
Dream
So
Big,
read
yes.
those two.
Yes. So, but the parent helped him
Yes,
to say, my son, read books.
read books.
How she got it, I don't know. Now, Evie Hill was an evangelist.
Yeah,
He
Evie Hill.
stayed with the grandmother. This guy actually never liked studying. But the grandmother would say, my son, what will make you different from other children who are on the streets is if you continue studying
Yes.
and allowing God to work in you.
Yeah.
Evie Hill used to say, I had a praying grandmother.
Yes.
Full stop.
Full stop.
So, if you have a struggling son, please become a helper. Become a helper. Sit with them. They can do something. And they are better at something. That's why me as a parent, with my wife, we don't judge our children by the scores.
The academic scores in class.
No.
You judge them by what? Or you don't judge them at all?
By other standards.
Like?
Like spirituality.
Okay.
Like
So you look at them and ask yourself who prays better?
No,
who
not
reads more
praying.
chapters in the Bible,
There is
or
leadership.
who loves going to church?
There is leadership for the youth. Young men, there is one who goes to All Saints to have devotions for children.
Yes.
From us, that's the first basis of judgment.
Okay.
Then secondly is, what are you best at? If it is,
What do you do very well?
Exactly. What do you do very well? And are you excelling in it? Before we go for academics. But now, we have an upside down system
Yes.
that thinks that if I get a 4, I have a parent, and it is unfortunate, when the child got 5, he beat him.
Because the child didn't get 4 in 4.
Yes. He wasn't announced among the top, and he beat him.
Don't you think that parent also
Up to today-
deserved the same treatment?
I wish I had capacity.
Oh.
But up to today, that child has a problem.
Mentally speaking.
Yes. Because how do you interpret success?
We are now going to take a very brief break. When we come back, we want to answer the question. They say parenting is parenting regardless of the uniqueness of the children. Is that so? Would you want to have a template for all your children? Or if you have somebody who is a highly intelligent child, maybe they should be parented differently. That is going to be the gist of the matter as we come back from the break. Every child is formed by God's deposits in him or her, formed by nature or the genetics, but also formed by nurture, the environment in which he grows up. And that environment can kill or heal, can make or break, can form or deform not only the past, the present, but also the destiny of this child. And if yours is highly intelligent, then you need a different set of skills. Not only skill sets, but also attitude sets and also mind sets and knowledge sets and wisdom sets and character sets to be able to parent a highly intelligent child. Welcome back to the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana. And today is episode number 58. What a journey it has been.
Amen.
And we are talking about parenting a highly intelligent child. And in the studio with me is Reverend JT, Reverend Jasper Tumuhimbise. When we took a break, we had just looked at what an intelligent child looks like. One who has the ability to comprehend, ahead of time. One who is innovative, is very curious, is sensitive to the situations around, he has a sense of humor, makes a lot of observations, is good at reading, at shading, and is like Ben Carson in gifted hands, formed by the reading and
Of
culture
books,
in the home.
Totally, yes.
So, some people say parenting is parenting regardless of the uniqueness of the child. That you can parent all children the same. Very briefly, what do you say about that?
That's a totally wrong concept because even animals parent. So we can't say we are animals because parenting means you are nurturing, rearing, what? And each child has a different aspect of the needs of a parent.
Okay.
So as a parent, for each child, encourage them in their field and their talents, buy and provide for them in their field. So, in other words, when my son is doing computer, he has better machines than mine. Notwithstanding, maybe sometimes the capacity to buy. But if he says, I need this, I will purchase it because I'm his parent.
Aren't you spoon feeding him?
Yes. At that level, you need it too. Because
isn't it because for you are rich, whatever he asks you will provide?
Of course.
So for some of those...
of course, I wish I had more. Because you would have totally different machines.
Okay.
But what you are able to provide is that which will nurture his talent so that he becomes the best in it. So he has a better computer than mine. He has better machine than mine. Even this watch is from him. Why? Because I didn't know that there are watches which measures heartbeat. He bought a weighing machine for mama and daddy. Why? Because that's his mind. So buy things that will help that talent.
Okay.
If it is music, purchase the guitar, so that this child is able to learn and perfect that work, and they won't be frustrated. Then lastly, provide information. Provide information that, by the way, hey, this field, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can't provide information yourself, look for somebody in that field, a parent, who can come and say, I did this, but this wasn't good.
Okay.
I never went to RDC, but
sharing experience.
You, my daughter, please go. Why? Because of 1, 2, 3. And that is totally parenting through another one. Yes.
Okay. So, gist of the matter. Going forward, if I have a highly intelligent child, how can I parent him or her?
Number one, walk with them.
What does that mean?
Means that whatever they are doing, be interested. If they are repairing something, come and ask questions, like the way you asked your daughter. You get it. It means you are walking with. And the Bible says, can two walk together without agreeing? Amos 3:3. It means that papa, mommy, be interested and walk with that child. Don't just rubbish whatever they are doing. Secondly, wrestle with them.
Wrestle?
Yes. Wrestling means...
I hope not physical.
It is not physical. Means that you are reasoning with them. If they ask a question, reason, research with them. Don't just say, that's rubbish, never ask me again. No.
Reason with them.
Reason with them.
So if they ask a question, you can also answer even with the question to trigger their curiosity.
Where can we get this information? And in wrestling, actually, after reading Gifted Hands by Ben Carson, I read it about 2002. All my children began reading. And I pray that people will use that as a tool.
And by the way, that reminds me, because I read that book also about a decade or so ago. I remember when the mother of Ben Carson told him to start reading,
Yes.
she did not only tell him what to do, she also told him what not to do. And that was the issue of the TV
Exactly.
in the house. They stopped watching the TV.
Totally.
And
then
regulated it in the house.
She began also sending him where books are.
Yes.
So you are not helpful. You say read the books, but you are not providing.
When there is a
books.
TV on, and while the TV is switched on, watching cartoons, and you're saying also hold the book.
Hold the book.
Something has to be switched off first to switch on another.
Switch on another one.
Okay.
And then if you have newspapers, totos, newspaper in education, give them, and then ask them, I want to see your answers.
Okay, so wrestle with them mentally.
Then work. Now, if it is highly intelligent child, they will tend to concentrate on where they are very good. But work means also give them things they don't like doing. So that part of their mind does not totally concentrate on what they think they are best in. Why? Because they need to know that life is not about, for example, computers, about law. It is also about variety of things. So work with them, take them to the field, take them to places where they will be doing things which are not connected.
I hope those do not now disrupt them from the things they actually like to do.
No, an intelligent person won't be disrupted. But all you are doing is so that you take that total focus, because total focus will lead to addiction.
Oh, you mean if they are totally focused on this one thing and not other things,
they will
may end up being addicted to this.
And it might be a point of no return.
And the word addiction has never been positive.
It can't
if it
be.
Is addiction to something nice.
Even if it is workaholic is not good.
Yeah, I had a friend I used to work with more than about 15 years ago.
Yes.
He would not work in the morning until he had taken a bottle of soda. He had to first drink some specific type of soda. I'm not mentioning it so that I'm not charged that it is an advert.
Yes.
There is a certain soda he used to first drink in the morning before we start work.
Exactly. So don't allow them to be addicted into their intelligence. It is good, yes, but divert them. I call this diversion.
So what does that diversion achieve in the bigger scheme?
They will begin seeing a bigger picture of the world.
Okay.
That the world is not in a computer, in your phone. The world is big, and the people go to dig. They get tired. And then they will begin thinking, okay, even when I'm developing this, I need to develop a solution for digging, for example. So one of my sons created a robot for tree planting.
Really?
Yes. And in a school, actually, Namidjango College. They made a workshop, computer workshop, and they developed a robot to tree plant. My thinking is that he never liked planting of what? Trees. And so he got a solution. And intelligent people will get a solution to what they think is the problem.
I got into a lift last week at Acacia Mall with my wife. And while we were down waiting for the lift, because we were going to the topmost floor, I said, thank God for lazy people. So my wife turned and looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, somebody who created this lift must have been a lazy person who didn't want to climb all
Can you
these
believe
stairs.
that I climbed?
I was so tired that evening. So I said, thank God for a lazy mind that became a creative mind. Solve this problem. So take me to the last floor.
This evening you are telling me what I did.
Yes.
From the ground floor I climbed to 13th.
To
because
the
I had
floor
the
today.
time.
You had the
I had the time.
Yes.
But I also needed to relax. I mean, you are giving a classic example. So that they begin getting solutions to problems. Then second last, wisdom. You need wisdom to handle a child who is intelligent, because normally they will cause insecurity. They know more things than you. So if you are a parent, you begin putting on insecurity antennas. Insecurity antennas means, stop saying this, stop doing this. No, you need wisdom to say, if I don't know this, whom can I ask? But also pray to God. And the Bible says, if you pray to God for wisdom, He will give it to you.
James chapter 1 verse 5.
Yes. And then in Job 28, it says, to know God is wisdom, to shun evil is understanding. Know your God. And begin asking God, how do I deal with this child? And let me tell you, he will download small things. If you are listening, God will download small things to help you nurture that child. Then finally, ensure that you and that child are able to wait. To say, money, excuse us. No, we are not on money now. Because there was a temptation on one of our children. He got a contact from one of the telecom companies in South Africa to go and be employed as a developer.
Yes. Like a software developer?
Yes. Age 16 years. Salary, he told me $8,000. Now, how can $8,000 be in the hands of a 16-year-old and it is not a disaster?
What's wrong with that? If you've been teaching him how to use money right from childhood and he's been seeing how you also use your money, why do you want to stop him from getting that money early enough?
For me, that age, again, the word teenager, you get money and you are not even in the country, you are in South Africa.
You are alone.
So what type of person am I helping to develop?
A rich person.
We saw, yes, money, yes, but tenets of work.
That was about 35 million shillings.
Yes. But, tenets of work, no. Then secondly, the moral system in South Africa, with all due respect, of course.
Yes.
Then later, is this child going to remain in God? Maybe no. So the answer was no. To that child.
Didn't he feel like strangling you?
Totally disappointed.
You were stepping in his plate.
Yes, went even to friends of ours and we talked. Some were like, this is the gold mine. Others were like, what is God saying in this? And we waited. And let me tell you, that money will come. But it will come at the proper time with the mind.
If it doesn't come, won't he...
with the mind which is able to hold
blame you forever?
But if it doesn't come, he will still be stable, mature enough to know that life is not about money. But at that age, I don't think a child will now come out.
Okay.
And of course they give examples, this one left school and got this. So as a parent, please wait.
They tell you about Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, tell you about Bill Gates of Microsoft.
Yes, Jacob's MacBook. That those people.
They left school. And
but I normally say those
Steve
are the
Jobs
people
of Apple.
Yes, let's now wait for ours.
Those are outliers. They are few.
Exactly. And then you don't know their struggles. And I mean, you do not know their struggles.
All right.
Microsoft, divorce, you think they lacked anything with Belinda?
Belinda
Gates, no.
Melinda
of course,
Gates.
Steve Jobs, he died. And you know what? His lifestyle. I can't even mention it on family TV.
Yeah.
So it is... Jesus asks, what does it profit a man if you gain the whole world and lose your own what? Soul. And so it is not about intelligence then money. No. It is intelligence to help humanity.
Okay.
Let me repeat it. So God doesn't deposit in you wisdom and applied knowledge simply to get money. Every deposit in God in me, in my children and you some, is to help humanity. If it is not, then it is useless. So it is not about how much I'm getting. It is how much
impact I'm
making to humanity.
Yes.
And that's why we have a leadership challenge in Uganda that is us. But it's society good. If it is not society good, it is useless.
It is not good.
Yes,
if it's not society good, it's not good.
It is not good at all.
Here is a fact. As we come to the close of this, we just have about 6 minutes or so to the end. Some highly intelligent people around us have become failures in life. Yes. They are so intelligent. They are highly educated. Some of them have MBAs and Masters of Arts and Masters of Science and PhDs, all those doctorates and so on and so forth. But you look at their life is irrelevant to the society. Their living is meaningless, and even their impact is absolutely minimal. So they are highly intelligent, but they are failures in life. So that makes me very curious.
Yes.
That maybe intelligence is not enough. That even if my child is highly intelligent, I should not sit back and clap and say, I have arrived as a parent,
Yes.
my child is intelligent. So on that note, therefore, as we come to the close of this, what else besides the intelligence or something that is not related to intelligence should my child master or learn in order to live productively, meaningfully, and impactfully? What else?
Really, the foundation is God.
So are you saying spiritual wellness?
Spiritual wellness is what makes the foundation of intelligence real intelligence. Wisdom is from God. And he says in Proverbs 8 that I am wisdom. So spiritual wellness is the first thing. And then again, definition of failure. Because failure, according to many of us, is whether I have failed to be wealth, whatever, maybe I haven't married. And so we call it failure.
I haven't bought a car.
And the challenge with an intelligent person, they say somebody they were defeating in class.
Yes.
He's the MD, he's the chief executive,
He's the one
and for them
hiring
they are
them.
still on a border. The other one is giving a testimony that I lost my clothes in a plane. This one is saying, the board almost finished me. Now, it causes anxiety and depression.
Yes.
So, intelligent people later become depressed because they see the world around them, believe that we are so intelligent, but yet they are making it more than me. And I have one friend, he actually ran mad.
Oh,
he was
dear.
an engineer.
Oh, no.
And what I really feel the reason was he continued struggling and striving that because I was beating people in class, so getting
should
a
beat
job,
them in all
I
the
should
things.
get a job quickly, I
Get
should
more money.
get more money.
Yes.
And the guy,
become more popular.
the guy today, he lost wires. And so, again, spiritual wellness. Then secondly, have somebody you talk to. I call them mentors.
Okay, mentors.
Somebody you look up to. If it could be some, you just periodically sit with them. So that you don't interpret life as if it is a toolbox. Toolbox approach means this fits in this. If it doesn't, then it doesn't work. So get a mentor. Number 3, go to fellowships.
So the child should be taken to fellowships.
So
what kind of fellowships are we talking about
mainly
here?
Christian fellowships.
Okay, because
of course
there are also academic fellowships.
Of course, also academic fellowships are good. If there is space, please allow them. So that they go and listen to papers and to know that actually I'm intelligent, but I'm not the most intelligent.
There is a lot I could learn.
Yes, that I'm very good, but this guy is better than me.
Dissecting stuff here.
So that now it calms you down to become real. That's so. Number 3 is generally fellowshipping. In the Bible, it's called koinonia, where you are able to. Then, number 4. Because it is spiritual well-being, ensure that you pray always. I'm bright, yes, God, but where do you want me to go? How do you want me to use this? And then finally, social and academic problems do not define a person. Social and academic problems do not define a person. I was reading Thomas, the one who made the bulb.
Thomas Edison.
Yes. Failed 9,999 times. Others say 2,774 times. He failed before he created the what?
A bulb.
bulb. And I was thinking maybe he could have even died without creating a bulb. But
Kept moving.
he kept on moving.
Yes.
And there are many presidents, especially USA, they tried 1, 2, 3. The fourth time they passed through. I mean, so keep on trying and knowing that, yes, I'm intelligent, but I'm not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And if you read the Bible, Ahithophel was very intelligent, but he joined the wrong group. So, I mean, he joined the Absalom, the son of David. And his wisdom. The Bible says it was as if it was downloaded from God. And he committed suicide. Aaron, the same thing, creating a bull. If you go to the New Testament, Judas was intelligent.
Yeah, that's why he was in charge of the finances
otherwise would they give it to fishermen who never knew how to calculate? So Levi and Judas were intelligent, but he ended up ruined. Why? Because he never focused on God. He focused on himself.
Wow. Parting shots in less than a minute. What's your final message to
Yes, the
viewers?
final message to you, parent, and even you, intelligent child
Who has been
listening to us.
watching us talking about you?
Know God, because to know God is wisdom, to shun evil is understanding. Be calm, be clear, be consistent, have a constant focus on God, and indeed He will make your ways successful. God bless you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen who have been watching us this awesome evening. We've been focusing on how to parent a highly intelligent child. We've seen that this highly intelligent child is curious, is innovative, is able to comprehend ahead of time, is sensitive to situations around, has a high sense of humor, and even likes reading and shading, to mention but a few. And this child has been formed by the deposits of the Creator within him, formed by nature, the genetics from the parents, but also the nurture, the environment around him. And so if you are to parent a highly intelligent child, for me, I've taken note that these are 5 W's. W number 1, walk with your children. Be interested in what he is doing. W number 2, wrestle. Wrestle with them mentally. Go and reason with your children. Number 3, work. Give them things that they don't even enjoy doing, but which will stretch their ability to think better. And W number 4 is wisdom. You need the wisdom to be able to handle this child and his intricacies. And finally, wait. Teach him patience even when there are immediate benefits that could come. But if they come at a point when he's not ready, instead of them being a blessing, they may turn out to be a burden. So, what next? Teach them spiritual awareness. Give them mentors that can support them and give them accountability and perspective. Also, enable them to go to fellowships, whether they are spiritual fellowships or academic fellowships, to expand their understanding. But also help them to have a better prayer life as you enable them to solve their social and academic problems that should not even define them as people. All these things we've talked about are going to help your highly intelligent child to have character, to acquire the necessary skills, to put life into proper perspective, to gain resilience, and also grow up as a child that is emotionally intelligent. I will end with a statement that our guest today, Reverend JT, talked about, that it's not intelligence that should be a kind that gives you money, but it should be intelligence that helps you to make impact. May we raise children that are going to live a meaningful life. Until next time, live exemplarily, love authentically, and lead relationally.